Hello friends. You must have heard and also seen on the TV that Sita Ji's marriage to Sri Ram took place through a Swayamvar. We all remember the scene. Sri Ram strings the mighty bow of Lord Shiva, it breaks and they get married. But would you believe me if I told you that what you saw on TV doesn't quite match Valmiki Ji's Ramayana? Would you believe me if I said that calling this wedding a Swayamvar isn't exactly the truth, or at least it's not the whole truth? So what is the reality of Sita's wedding? To find out, keep watching. First, let's see how the Ram-Sita wedding was portrayed in Ramanand and Sagar Ji's Ramayan. King Janak of Mithila had made grand arrangements for his daughter Sita's wedding. The air was filled with the sounds of conch shells, drums, trumpets and shahnais. Kings from all over the land had gathered in the royal court of Mithila. Right in the center of the assembly sat the divine bow of Lord Shiva. Sri Ram and Lakshman arrived as guests of King Janak, accompanying the sage Vishwamitra. The proclamation was made. The warrior who could lift Shiva's divine bow and string it would win Sita's hand in marriage. One by one, the kings stepped forward, flexing their biceps and boasting of their power, but they couldn't even move the bow an inch. They returned to their seats embarrassed. When several kings tried to lift the bow together, King Janak lost his patience. He exclaimed, "Enough! It seems this earth has become devoid of heroes." Hearing this, Lakshman had an angry outburst. "How can you say such a thing in an assembly where a scion of the Raghu dynasty, Sri Ram, is sitting?" Sage Vishwamitra calmed Lakshman down and signaled to Ram. Now Sri Ram gave a literal masterclass in stringing the bow. He didn't approach it from the side the other kings did. He approached it from the opposite side and lifted it with ease. As he went to string it, the bow snapped. The king's eyes popped out in shock. Lightning flashed across the sky, thunder rolled, and fierce winds began to blow. All three worlds knew the bow of Shiva had been broken. Watching the serial was pure entertainment. But the question is, from where have these events been taken? The director Ramanand Sagar Ji was an eminent writer and director with a deep background in the film industry. When making such an important series, he wouldn't have simply pulled stories out of thin air. In our search for the source, we look towards Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitmanas. We find that Ramanand Sagar Ji's scenes and dialogues were heavily inspired by it. And why wouldn't they be? Tulsidas Ji's descriptions are incredibly beautiful. For example, when Sri Ram enters the assembly, Tulsidas Ji says that the brave kings felt as if bravery itself had taken human form. To the women, he looked like the embodiment of beauty. To the wicked men, he appeared terrifying. And to the scholars, they saw the infinite form of the Lord. Sri Ram was one, but he was perceived differently by everyone. As the saying goes, "Jaki rahi bhavana jaisi, Prabhu Murati dekhi tin taisi." One perceives the Lord according to the feelings in their heart. Everything is beautiful, everything is great. So what's the issue? Let me explain. Look closely at this word. Swayamvar. This is a combination of two Sanskrit words, Swayam meaning self and Var meaning selection. It means a ceremony where a girl chooses her husband. In a traditional Swayamvar, all the kings would gather in one place and their names and lineages would be announced to the princess and then she would make the choice. As per King Janak's proclamation, Sita would marry whoever strung the bow. So where is Sita's choice in this? How is this a Swayamvar? In the Balkand of Valmiki's Ramayana, there is a full description of the Ram-Sita wedding, but the word Swayamvar is not used even once. So what name has it been given there? Let's see. Valmiki Ji writes that sage Vishwamitra brought Ram and Lakshman from Ayodhya to protect his yajna from Rakshasas. Once the Rakshasas were defeated, he took them to Mithila. King Janak told them about the bow of Shiva and used the term Viryashulk. It's important to understand this term. Virya means valor or strength and Shulk means price or fee. Essentially, it means that marriage would only happen with a hero who could pay the price by demonstrating his strength. King Janak was actually very sad because many kings had come not all at once but over time, but none had been able to even lift the bow. At this point, Rishi Vishwamitra introduced the two Raghukul princes to King Janak and asked him to show them the bow. When the bow arrived with his gurus and King Janak's permission, Ram lifted the bow effortlessly. When he pressed it down to string it, it broke. Thus the Viryashulk was paid and the marriage happened. So are Viryashulk and Swayamvar two different things or two different names for the same thing? Let me explain. If we look at our epics, we see that there are three types of Swayamvar marriages. The first is etched Swayamvar or free choice. This is the pure form of Swayamvar where there are no preconditions. The princess has the total choice to pick whoever she wants, like when Damayanti chose King Nal. The second is Savyavastha Swayamvar or regulated choice. Here certain preconditions like age or lineage were used to filter the kings. After the filtering, the princess could choose from the remaining candidates. The third is Shauryashulk or Viryashulk Swayamvar. In this marriage, a contest was held to test the strength, wisdom and skill of the kings. The princess had to compulsorily choose the winner of this contest. I hope you understand the difference now. If you do, tell me in the comments what would you call Draupadi's marriage.